afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this this beautiful episode. I'll call it an episode, but this beautiful, inspiring session from Textilers. Well, it's been hope you've had a good week so far, and the weekend has gone well. We'll just dig right in. I'll start by a very favorite quote of mine, and I'm going to abridge. I'm going to make it an abridged version. A good number of us have heard it before. It goes this way. Say our deepest fears are not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fears are we're give me a moment. Hello? Yes. Our deepest fears are that we are more powerful than we think, and we ask ourselves, who are we not to be? I'm going to stop there because it's a thought that's been ringing in my mind all through the week. Who are we not to be? A good number of times we should change ourselves by either it's imposter syndrome or when we are trying to learn a new thing. That was applied for a good number of us in the tech space or those of us looking to venture into the tech space. So, so this evening we're going to learn from two people who have done inspiring things and who are still doing inspiring things with tech. And we're learning from Molly and we're learning from Kika. So let's go right into it. Please, could you help? Pardon. Yeah, with the slide. Hello? Could you help me? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'll be anchoring this with Joy. I believe she'll be joining shortly. And I will say we'll be going. This is our agenda for today. Welcome. I think I've welcomed everyone. Welcome again. And I'll introduce you to textilers. We'll have Molly speak first. Then we'll have Kika again take us on another inspiring journey. After which we'll take our questions and answers. Then tech deep dive, intermediate class. We'll talk a bit about the intermediate class and we'll wrap up with Foyin. Closing remarks from her. So good. This next. So what is Textilers about? I shared this I shared a link a few minutes ago and someone was asking, so what's Textilers? And simply put, Textilers is a group of women, a community beyond women, we've extended beyond women, a community that believes in supporting women who desire growth in technology. Hello? Okay, great. It's a group that was founded May 2020. 2020 was an interesting year in the lives of a lot of us. And at the same time, a great number of great things were being bettered. Textilers was one of such things. We see ourselves as ladies with a very important superpower, the ability to use technology skills to solve real life problems. I think you should take note of that. Our vision is to bring more women into technology by empowering them with tech and through mentorship. No, you can go ahead, it's fine. So what do? We have tech deep dive sessions, whether it's big at the beginner phase or intermediate phase. You hear more about that later on. Then we have monthly meetup sessions because we know that there's a power that every story is unique. Your story is unique, Molly's story is unique, MJ's story is unique, Olayinka's story is unique. And we know that every story has some element of learning that can come to another person. So we believe in setting up inspiring sessions that happen every last Saturday. You're joining one of such sessions today that we talk about, we engage inspiring women or ladies that have done a great good with tech that they know. You can follow us on social media, pardon the S there. There's Textilers on Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and YouTube. On YouTube, you can find our amazing sessions. I would not forget the lady that talked about having a career break and coming back from having a baby and doing amazing things. She still got an MVP by Microsoft. That still stands out in my memory. And this was someone that wasn't exactly in tech, as it were. So yes, you are in for a good ride today. Next, please. Housekeeping rules. This session will be recorded and it will be made available. That's on YouTube. So stay tuned. You should subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep the notification bell. Tick the notification bell so that you know when we post new stories. Then please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Okay, great. Mute your microphone when you're not speaking. And please stay. Thank you. Follow us on social media, subscribe. I think I've at about then wrapped up everything. Then for your questions and answers, please just note it down and we'll take it as soon as we're done with both speakers. So now let's go right into it. The very first speaker for today is Molly. Molly is our very first speaker. She's the president of Dynamics User Group. For those people that are not, I don't know much about tech. I just saw this link somewhere. What's the Dynamics User Group? She's going to tell you a lot about it. She's an accomplished community leader. She has a strong background in training, operational management, inclusion. She's a customer-focused professional, and I just engaged with her a few minutes, and I know that yes, our relationship building skills they are top notch. She's passionate about building successful teams using through effective, diverse recruitment. She's an adaptable professional who thrives in fast-paced environments. She's excellent. She's great at building brands and creating innovative marketing plans. Please, the next voice you should be hearing should be Molly's voice. Please, a round of applause for Molly. You could do that on your, you could use the icon for that. So a round of applause for Molly. Molly, you have the floor, you have the mic. So please, let's dig in.
Thank you, everyone. It's so great to be here. Well, first and foremost, I just want to say how exciting this is that we are officially at the 2-year and 1-month mark of Textilers. So congratulations to this group. I just have a few slides today, but really this is time for all of you to engage, hopefully a little bit. I might pick on our hosts a little bit because I know they've had quite an experience with community. But again, my name is Molly Fuchsel. I'm the president at Dynamics User Group, and our company specializes in actually building a tech community. So that's why these wonderful women invited me to speak to you today. This is very informal, so you can probably tell if you didn't see already, I'm located in the United States, in the northern part of the United States, almost by Canada. So you can probably hear my accent a little bit. It's almost a little Canadian. But I am here to talk about how you get the most out of community, and I would love it if we could talk about when it feels like it's a little hard to get involved in community, and so I'm excited to just talk through some of those with you today. And again, this is very informal, so if you have questions and you want to put them in the chat, if that's okay with the ladies, and Foyin can maybe just help me and let me know what those are. But I'll go ahead and share my screen here. And you guys just let me know when you can see my screen. And we'll get to just a few slides. Okay, it didn't connect the first time. Let's try it again. There's just so much knowledge on this call. It takes a minute for teams to chime in with us. Can you all see this okay? Excellent. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So again, our company is Dynamics User Group. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what our company is to share what the background of how we build community is. And then I've got some questions for all of you, and hopefully we can learn a little bit from each other today. So I'll go ahead and just jump right into us as a community organization. So Dynamics User Group, we started as a global free discussion forum. This was started by a Microsoft MVP who was assigned as a Microsoft Dynamics Navision job. He was the only individual at his company that knew how to use that product, and he had nobody to ask for help. And he was supposed to learn this product, and then he was supposed to teach other people how to use it. And this was way before we had social media or anything like that to connect with people. And so he built a custom online discussion forum to help other people in that exact same situation. And so that was 25 plus years ago. We'll fast forward to where we are today, and we are probably best known for our online event called Dynamics Con. And what this was our owners wanting to take the concept of an online discussion forum, which was representing our community, and bringing it to more of a lifelike experience where we could still connect with community members, such as yourselves across the globe. So that's when Dynamics Con was born. And what that's really about is it's sharing knowledge that all of us have on this call in a way that's easily accessible for anyone else in the world. And so the biggest things, right, we tried to overcome. There's no cost to participate. anyone can submit a session. It's community voted on. So things like that are what we focus on, is really enriching the community to help build each other and to help each other grow both professionally and personally. So we try to take it one step farther. This is an incredible group right here. We are part of the Tech Stylers community. But what we also are doing for each other, not only in helping each other learn technical skills better, but we're really also here to support each other as a group of women to personally grow as individuals. And so that's what I'm going to be talking a lot about today. And I'll share some personal stories as well, just because I think, I was thinking about this a lot and trying to relate to all of you on this call, and even how I personally got started with our greater tech community. And it really just starts with consistency, right? So I'm going to scoot back to my previous slide and talk about community. So if anyone is feeling brave, I'll start asking some of these questions in a little bit. But community, it's kind of where you get started. So I think of myself, I've been in this role and with Dynamics User Group, I've been leading this company for about 2 years now. And even when I started, I came from a different perspective, and that was that I don't use the products every day. So I don't use Power Platform, for an example, every day. But my job is to connect people like you with other people who are looking to learn it better, or who are looking to learn from your skills. So that's where my skill set comes in, is connecting folks together. And again, making that a resource that has no cost, no barrier to entry, and is easily accessible. And so when I first started in community, I know the biggest part that was hard for me was just getting out there, right? And making social media posts and sending emails and connecting with my network to tell them what I was doing. And that's sometimes the hardest part, right? Is just getting started and really having that consistency. So I would cheerlead all of you and just say, if you're just starting in that journey of getting a little bit more connected in your community, don't give up. That is my biggest first tip for you. Don't base it on the number of likes you get or comments back or things like that if you're looking at a social media post. Just keep doing it and just keep getting out there. I want to say that there's a few women on this call that I know have done a beautiful job of just sharing their journey, and they've been in all types of skill sets with Power Platform. But the community, the beautiful thing is they just want to hear from you, and they want to be a part of that journey and help you grow. And so I think that's the biggest thing to start with community. So I'm going to stop there and see if anyone wants to answer the first question I have here. And how do you as an individual define community? Does anyone want to come off of mute or put it in the chat? Maybe Miss Foyin, since she's got her camera on, would be so brave as to tell us how she defines community.
Yeah, maybe I can start off while the other ladies are trying to find their answer.
Yeah.
So I see the community as my extended family. I would like to say, because I've made lots of friends, and even friends becoming like as close to me as like my brothers or my sisters, like what we call ourselves now, based on the community.
Absolutely.
We kind of started together in the community, and then the relationship has grown a lot deeper than that. So I see the community like my extended family. I also see the community as a safe place. A place a place I can be vulnerable. I can literally say, I don't know this thing. Is there anyone who's willing to help me, out on it? I remember sometime last year or the year before, I was stuck on a particular thing. And I was working like 2 a.m. So everybody was asleep. And I just put out a tweet in one of our community groups on Twitter to say, I'm stuck on this. And I had people replying me from Japan, from Australia, like the guys who were awake at that time were saying, oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and that's just the power of the community. The fact that we can be safe, and you can be vulnerable about the fact that you don't know anything, and you always get somebody willing to help you.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even ask Foyin for that answer ahead of time. That was an excellent answer. Thank you, Foyin. I think you said this a couple of times, and I think that's the biggest difference about our particular tech community as it spans globally, right? And the word community can mean all kinds of different groups, which is wonderful, but it's a safe place. You don't have to feel embarrassed or ashamed that you don't have these skills. That's exactly what community is there to help you build. And maybe that's a great segue right into my next question is, how has our greater tech community, for all of you who have had a chance to immerse yourself a little bit more in our community, how has it supported you in your personal and or professional growth? Would anyone like to share that example or experience from their personal background?
Yeah. Rachel has a hand up. Please go ahead,
Yeah,
Rachel.
Rachel,
Okay.
please. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Molly.
Hi.
Okay, so community has really affected me, especially my personal growth. I was not really a person who could talk much before or could talk in a loud crowd like the way everybody's talking right now, and I'm talking to you. So
Yeah.
just yeah, so it was through the community. And when I started my journey in Power Platform, I was scared because it was something new and I did not really know what to do. I was thinking that it's something difficult that I could not achieve. But coming into the community, yeah, so it really increased my confidence, helped me in my growing, in my learning. Yeah, so that's it.
I love that. Thank you, Rachel. And I love the comments in the chat too. Thank you so much for those that are putting comments in the chat. Um, I want to say one thing that was a beautiful response. Thank you, Rachel. And I want to say something that Rachel, I think you had actually brought up in a post that I had read or that I had seen from other community members. I think the reality is it's sometimes also language barrier, right? You're looking to engage with a global community and you always wonder, am I saying the right words? Am I explaining what I need help with the right way? I mean, on top of being vulnerable and asking for help, sometimes there's a language component, right? And I have to say that in my experience with growing our Power Platform and Dynamics 365 community, this is the most welcoming and nurturing group of people who come from all types of first, second, and third languages that they can speak well or not so well. You should see when I try to write things in Hindu or Espanol, it's a little rocky, but I still put it out there because it's the bigger importance of it is that we're still trying to connect with each other, even if it's not written or said the best way. That doesn't matter. That's really the thing that matters the least in community, to be honest with you. It's most about connecting with each other. And I will tell you that at one of our virtual events, we really tried to promote and help those individuals who wanted to share things in their own native language, right? So yes, of course, there's English and other stronger languages that we share globally, but also sometimes just using your native language, if you find the right place and you find the right community, you're going to find other people who feel just as comfortable communicating in that different language as well. So don't ever be shy about using your native language either, because most likely there's another community member who says, oh, that's my language there. I like that. So, I know you hear this a lot, be yourself, but that's a part of being yourself. And I always encourage people to do that because, I mean, yes, I of course, obviously I speak English, but I love when I see our community members talking in different languages because English is not many people's first language. So I think you should share your information and what you're looking for in different languages as well. Does anyone else want to comment on their personal or professional growth that they've gotten out of community? And you could have just started getting involved with community 2 days ago, or you could be a long-time contributor of the greater community. We'd love to hear if anyone else wants to share their personal experience. Their community is a safe place. Okay, well, let's step a little bit deeper then. Let's talk about challenges.
We have a hand
yes.
up.
Yes,
We have
please.
somebody's hand. All right, please go ahead and hello?
Oh, shoot, there was a connectivity issue.
Hello?
I think she's muted us, so perhaps there's connection issues where she is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we can't hear you.
Sorry about that. We can't hear you. If you can, maybe either try once more, or you can certainly put your comment in the chat. We'd love to see it. If we can't hear you, then at least we can see it. Oh, connectivity. Does anyone else want to share their experience while we're waiting?
Okay,
I think
I see
Azure wants to.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, Azure.
Hi there. How are y'all doing today? I joined a little late. I want to say that the community helped even propelled me into a new career path. So Molly, I know I'll get to meet you at DynamicsCon Live and Foyin in September, and I'm very, very excited. But I started doing Power Platform intern at my last company. That community was very small and grew with the help of a mutual friend of mine and Foyin's. Then introduced me to textilers, and honestly, this was where I found my people. Right, a lot of women who were also in the same position that I was, very interested in the technology, wasn't sure where it was going to take us. Some were more established, and to be able to get that guidance, that mentorship, was really next to none. And then being encouraged to do things like update LinkedIn and go on Twitter and so now it's put me in a place where a couple of months ago I was able to do a full career transition into tech and now work as a consultant. So that's been working with Power Platform at that point a little over 2 years. So it for me it's community has absolutely changed my life, and then now it's been a big part of my mission to also give back to the community and help anyone who really wants to, whether it's on Twitter or taking on mentees, participating in conferences. So anyone who is on the call and they're still a little timid about, you heard Rachel's testimony about it even made her a better public speaker. Community will help you in so many other ways. And I don't even know if this is too much information, but here in the US, we're having like a period products like shortage. And so one of the community members, I had mentioned something like online at I'd forgotten to clean up my desk at my last job, asked a coworker to like grab some stuff. And I had thrown it up on Twitter, and Allison Mulligan from the community, she was like, "Are you having a shortage over there? Like, I'll happily send you period products." And she did, along with some chocolates. So it's it's in so many different ways, like personally, professionally. I feel like I have so many friends now on the internet too that I haven't yet gotten to meet. And now that things are going back in person, it's like gaining a family. So I would say for myself, the community has really helped me in a ton of ways. Whether you decide to take tech to making it your career or not, it's where you'll really find ways to thrive. So.
I love that. Oh, that's a great testimony for community, and it was great to meet you in person too.
Yes, we'll get to do a handshake or fist bump or something in just a little bit. So I will see you in San Antonio.
Yes, so excited to have you join us in San Antonio. Thanks for coming on camera too.
Yeah. All right, I'm going back off. Bye.
Excellent. All right, Azure, that was a beautiful example. I just love that. And I'm so excited she's joining us as a speaker, and she's been getting more involved with our particular community, but in the greater community. And she's just a wonderful advocate for helping others too, because it's been such a great help to her. So thank you, Azure. Who else do we have, Foyin? I apologize, I'm not able to see the hand raises very well. Let's see here.
Yeah, I know. Shirley has a beautiful, beautiful story about the communities. I don't know if she can. It's a beautiful story, but if she could just tell us a bit about how the community has kind of helped her also.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I was like 50 years old and my families were sort of mostly grown, but one of my daughters was still at university, and I was laid off twice in very quick succession, and times were really hard for us. I decided I'd seen Power Platform. I decided to apply myself to learn it, and literally I got all of my learning materials from the community, right, from YouTube and from blog posts and from going to Scottish Summit and meeting people, and I got so much help from the community. I was able to transition to a really good job, which I'm doing now, which I absolutely love. And just like Azure, right, I now am applying myself to giving other people that opportunity that I had. It changed my life, right? Changed my life and my family's life. My daughter finished uni and now she's working in tech, and yeah, it's like a really happy ending to a really tough time, just because of the community, right?
Oh, I love that story. Oh, that brings tears to my eyes, Sheila, or Shelley, excuse me. That's such a beautiful story, especially a lot of us are very blessed in that we've been able to continue to build on, have building blocks in our career, and community has been a part of that. But I think you're representing another large part of our community that has had large career shifts or was furloughed because of COVID, or their job, they lost their job. And sometimes community is the only place you have to start. And again, with it being a free and accessible avenue for you, it sounds like it really helped you in a hard time. So I love that story. I think
It
that's
did,
beautiful.
and the thing is, it's just like Foyin said, you can be yourself, right? You can turn up and you can be your authentic self, and there's no judgment. Everyone just wants to help, right? And I've never ever been in a situation like that before, where I was just so welcomed by everybody, and just everybody like offering that hand, and it just blew me away, and I want to do everything I can to help other people now.
Oh, I love that story. Thank you for sharing. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I better keep us moving. What a great group. I love how engaged everyone is. And this is exactly what community is about. It's about sharing your story, being yourself. And the biggest step is just starting and putting yourself out there. That's always, I think, the biggest hurdle that I tend to hear, is just letting people know and being a little vulnerable about where you are, where you're struggling, and to ask for help. And oh my gosh, just like Foyin, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to get a whole lot of answers really quickly. Well, let's maybe just, I want to skip down to the last question, and I want to talk about this a little bit just to make sure we have enough time, because I love how engaged this group is. So the question is, what will be your community 2%? And I want to talk about that. It's my takeaway ask for all of you. And what that is that you challenge yourself to do an extra 2% for the community. So it sounds kind of funny, but by you investing an extra 2%, whatever way that might be in community, I promise you, you are going to get back so much more than that. And that's the beautiful thing about community, is what you put in, you get back in so many different beautiful ways that you didn't even think of, whether it's making a new connection, finding another opportunity, finding somebody that makes you laugh when you've had a hard day. Like it can be a whole mix of things that you might get. But I'm kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but if anyone could think of like what their 2% maybe is that they'd feel comfortable sharing. I know that's kind of asking you to think on your feet a little bit. But the goal is, and my takeaway for all of you is giving an extra 2%. What does that mean? How will you do it in your community that you're engaged with? And then I'd love to hear what you get back because of it. So does anyone have any ideas of maybe what their 2% would be that they would give back into the community? Not a hand.
Yeah, the hand is up. Let me see. Yeah.
I think Rachel's answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Rachel?
Hi.
Rachel, please go ahead.
Rachel?
Okay, I don't know if I understand your questions very well, but
Yeah.
for me, giving back to the community, because the community has really been a big part in my growth, in my journey, my tech journey. So I'm still growing and I'm still learning, but I tutor classes, and I love being part of the community in organizing events because it was really hard for me to choose on what I wanted. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who are confused, who don't know their future, they don't know what they want. Yeah, so I feel that to give them that same opportunity that, okay, you have an opportunity, you don't have to be scared of coding, that you can actually come into Power Platform, you can build solutions, you can build apps and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So it sounds like kind of teaching people more and taking on that volunteer act of presenting more and sharing those skills. That's awesome, Rachel. That might even be more than 2% too.
Yes, and we have a couple of our mentors on the call, our tech mentors. We have Sarah, Joanita, a lot of them are on the call today. Franca, all of these ladies give back to our textiles community by teaching other women. Of course, Joy too, and Jumoke, Victoria. So I'm not sure why they're not coming off mute, but they just say a big thank you to all of them. We see you, and I would say they give a lot more than 2% to the community.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
That
thank
is
you so
wonderful.
much,
I love that. Does anyone else want to share, just that thought of what you hope to give back, or what's something new you hope to do because of what you've seen and what you've gained from community? All right. That's okay. You guys think about that. I'd love to hear from all of you, maybe even in one of the textilers chats or one of their posts. I'd love it if we could continue that conversation. And I have to just point out this fantastic picture here on the right of my screen. This was just from the 10-day Power Platform Boot Camp. That's another beautiful example of community in person, actually together. We've talked about our global community, of course, and Foyin and I believe a few others have been very involved in putting this whole 10 days together. So congratulations to them. It sounded like a really, really successful boot camp, and gosh, the knowledge that was shared, and look at all those smiling faces. So it's really special to see when community actually comes together in person to learn. Obviously, we lost that ability for a little bit with COVID. So that's really special too. So very, very cool. And thank you for all of you on this call that are really contributing in different ways, I think, to help just build our whole community, right? And spread that awareness and really just kind of make us all want to be here, right? Like it's a place you want to be. It's a fun place to be together. Well, with that, let's see here. Is there any questions for me? I'm trying to just check my clock here. I think I'm almost at my time here. Any questions for me before I pass it over to our wonderful next speaker? Right. Well, I'll let us keep going. Thank you everyone for letting me come on and talk a little bit about community. I'll put my email and LinkedIn in the chat. Would love to connect with all of you there. And thank you so much for the time today. It was great meeting you.
Thank you very much, Molly. This has been a wonderful experience. I was glad really hearing stories and really personal stories from Ajure's to Cheryl's. They've been quite inspiring. Indeed, a community, you said, I think one thing you wrote was, you get so much by giving to a community, receive much more. So that's one big takeout for me for today. So we're going to move to the next session, and Joy is my co-host. Joy?
Hi everyone.
Hi, Joy. Okay, so she's going to be coming up now.
Hi. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I'm happy. I just came in almost at the tail end of Molly's session, and I was happy that I was able to catch that last minute. And thank you for that wonderful time. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for reminding us to about the values and things that we get from doing community work. And so our next speaker is someone who is, I call it the unique tech space. So when people talk about STEM, please, who is sharing the slide? Can you please put it up? When we talk about STEM, the concept everybody has is you have to be techie, you have to either be a configurator or an administrator or somebody who is setting up things. So people think that when you talk about STEM, that's the STEM career, that's the only thing. Our wonderful next speaker is someone who I will boldly say that she has been in STEM for over 22 years because she's been in the banking sector, and in the banking sector, she has moved across different departments that have to deliver using technology. So she's moved from customer experience and analytics to currently the role she's holding is the group head internal control at one of the innovative banks in Nigeria. Interestingly, I've worked with her for 7 years. I've worked with her for 7 years, so I can, beyond just even reading out who she is, say authoritatively that she's someone who believes so much in using technology to deliver in the tasks that she has. So we welcome you, Kika, to the Textiles community, and I'm very sure that you guys are going to be wowed.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Kika, we've lost you there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay, I said thank you, Joy. Thank you to the organizers of the Textiles Inspirational session. I've been trying to do a lot of catch-up, learning more about what you do or why you set up, but I heard a bit from Foyin today, and I think it's a brilliant one. Thank you, Joy, for the intro. I've been a bit rattled because technology was going to fail me, but thankfully, I think I have a bit of stability. And so I'll just go right into today's, what today is all about. Okay, I'm not a tech person, but I have a flair for it. Just like Joy said, I don't know these things, but anytime I come to IT, I say, okay, I have an idea what I want, and I believe it's achievable. I am that person or that individual that drives. I drive people because I drive myself. I believe things are possible, and I've seen technology do wonders. And I mean, kudos to you guys. We have a lot of catching up to do, but I'm always excited once I get a hang around something my IT team has just taught me, and I'm like, oh wow, this is possible, this is interesting, it's so easy. Okay, what's my job today? Jumoke has been on my case for a while now. I said, you need to come and speak to us. We have this inspirational session going on. You need to come and talk to people, and they will ask you questions, speak around, I mean, how you've grown, what you've done. So we're thinking of a topic, and I said, I mean, going by what's happening in the industry and in the economy and the world today, there were certain questions I kept asking myself, and I said, wow, I still have a job. I'm thankful. I'm still relevant because I think identifying me and even moving me to head another function tells me I'm relevant. It could have been some other people within the same space. There were other qualified individuals. And so I said to myself, okay, I'm going to talk around staying relevant. And why do I say staying relevant? It's not staying relevant because COVID came up upon us, but staying relevant now cuts across everything we do in life, everything, all aspects of our life. And I'm happy I'm talking to IT people today. I was told to put up a few slides, and I've tried to do just that. I'm going to try and share my slides. They're just about 4 or 5 slides, and I close with a video that's something to motivate the guys I'm speaking to. Right. Okay. How some of the things I'll be talking about here would also reflect my own experience and those around me, some people I have come across in my work life. Now I have tagged this secrets to staying relevant. So it's going to be very practical. It's about how you can actually start your journey, your work life journey, and still be on top, irrespective of the situation, circumstances you may find yourself. Now, one of the first things I said was, to be relevant, you should be knowledgeable. I think that's your starting point. That's a starting point for everybody or anybody. Whether you're being knowledgeable in handwork or acquiring a certificate, whatever it is, you should invest in yourself. And this has helped me, and I can speak for myself because at the start of my career, I was in the banking hall and I was quite inquisitive. I was always asking questions because I wanted to learn about my new environment. And my branch manager was quite impressed, and he told me, he said, why don't you try this professional course, the Chartered Institute of Bankers, excuse me. And I said, oh, wow. And he gave me some contact, and I made inquiries. And this was service year. And I started immediately. And it was interesting to me because I was working in that environment and I was getting the theoretical knowledge, and I was eager to come put it into practice. So there are certain things I do in class, and then when I'm told the principle behind it, or certain things I do in the office, but in class, I'm told the principle behind it. And, it got more interesting for me, and it gave me an edge. Why do I say it gave me an edge? After service year, we all had tests. I think I was like top 5. And then at the interviews, there were, of course, the panel, they were experienced and were throwing questions at me, even trick questions. I mean, just twisting the same question, you understand, in different ways. And I was very confident with my answers. Why? Because I had acquired knowledge, not just practical knowledge, but I knew why I was doing what I was doing. I knew the principle behind what I was doing. And so it helped me. I mean, I got feedback later on that there was one man they brought, and the guy is tough. I mean, he rattled a lot of the candidates. That was my set, and some were just lost. But that he picked me. He said, that girl is smart. And because he tried to confuse me, tried to give, throw confusing questions my way, and I was able to hold my own and, give him the correct answers. So that's being knowledgeable. So it's important to invest in yourself. You guys, I know in the IT space, you do a lot of certifications and all of that. So it's important. And I believe that there are other people here that are not from the IT industry. So, but it's important to know more about where you operate. You should have information. Now I'm going to move you to my next slide. And I have some little notes below there. I said certificates are not the only advantage. It's very important. I want you to have that at the back of your mind. And then godfatherism has its limitations, and I would explain. Now, I come here and I say, be skillful, evolve, upgrade your skills, develop other areas, reinvent yourself if you have to. As you grow, sometimes you find yourself in an environment and maybe you're called for different things. I found some people that say, why are they always calling me? Do you understand? Why is it me? Why, some say, some don't even like it. But I'll tell you one thing that has helped me. At some point in my life, I was sent to a department. They were all guys. I was so scared because it was everything about where I was very new to me. But I told myself, no, I would keep asking questions. I would go online. And then, of course, I was still going to classes. So this environment now was not like where I was coming from. Everyone in the banking hall was really excited whenever I come around. I'm asking questions. And then they moved me around. And so but this was a more specialized function. And it had to do with FX. And when I said I was really scared, I was scared because I didn't want to make a mistake. But there was one particular guy who said, you don't have to be scared, believe in yourself. And I started to learn how to use the Excel, there were certain other things that I needed to be able to function in that space, and it helped me. At the end of the day, we had some challenges within that team, and a number of them were moved out. I found myself to be I would say the oldest, even though I was the youngest, even at the time, because they brought more senior people to replace them. But everybody was speaking to me, asking me questions, and I was able to assist my seniors because I had also developed other skills. I had helped myself. I had learned quickly on different desks, and you see, I wasn't upset. I was that go-to person. And when I say be skillful, it's important that you make yourself, when you're skillful, you're attractive. When you're skillful, when you have other skills, you are attractive, you attract people to you. We had a merger and I changed location and function. I was pulled into a number of project committees. I was made secretary to some of them, as in things I wasn't primarily responsible for. But now it was like a cross-section of the institution that I worked in, and we were doing different things. So I had the opportunity to work with other individuals who also identified me. In the banking hall, I was in retail, and then I used to bring certain things to my supervisor's attention. And she was just like, have you ever done this? I said, oh, no. I just think that you can. So I've also acquired those skills I acquired while growing before. I was thrown into some of these roles, have aided me and made me attractive. Sometimes I'm the only woman or female in the midst of guys, and we're just flowing. I've also had situations where some departmental heads have sought for me to be moved to their teams. I've had that on 3 different occasions. Of course, my own supervisor is also selfish. So no, that's our strongest hand. No. So if you make yourself attractive, people want to keep you. You are almost like hot cake. So we're coming to a time, or we've come to a time that everybody is reading. Everybody has some kind of master's degree. At a point in my second institution or my second organization, some people would leave, go get a master's so that they could come back and take the next grade. But management soon discovered that it was not about just getting the certification or the master's degree. It was about what you had to offer, because they had reabsorbed some staff and nothing changed. So that's why I said certifications, and you understand your certificates are not everything. I also touched on godfatherism. It's important that you build yourself and avoid, sometimes we call it, alignments are good, relationships are good, but always have something, bring something to the table, so that even when people are speaking for you, you would have a unanimous agreement. I have benefited from this because I mean, I have got feedback from 2 different promotion panels where my name came up, and everyone was like, promote her, that girl, that. And I mean, the people, I said it was a merger of 5 banks. My own senior colleagues were there, and they came back. They said, they were like, Kika, well done. You know, whatever you're doing, well done. This happened, this happened. So it's happened twice. So it's important to have these skills and do things for yourself that make you sellable, bankable, be unique. It's important to stand out. That's being unique. Be different. Some of the things you can do that make you different is being approachable, being accessible. Humility is something that has helped me. I can function anywhere. I can relate with anybody. Cleaner, security, you know, your colleagues, your juniors, your seniors. So it helps. It helps you stand out. If people are going to say a thing or two about you, let them be able to say, oh, she's humble. People can come to you, people can engage you. Then stand for something. Don't be like the Bible says, that leaf or that thing that is blown. Once the wind blows like this, you blow this way. So stand for something, be known for something, and that's where objectivity comes to play. Everybody may not agree with you, but you need, that's another word there is, you need to be professional. You need to, in what you do, how you conduct yourself. So it's important that your principles are a very, do you understand, are a good guide for you wherever you find yourself. And like I said, I just had a few slides. Now, a relevant person, these are some of the key qualities to look out for. I would say be consistent. So don't do all those things to please anybody, but consistency proves and shows your worth. When you're consistent, people easily can identify you. So everyone is saying the same thing about you. Then objectivity. It's important that you're objective, even when it doesn't favor you. I think Joy can say that about me. Sometimes I say, oh, no, oh, we're on the wrong. Oh, no, I mean, you take responsibility when you should. You need to be objective when you're speaking on issues, when, you know, so people respect you for that. Then adaptability, your ability to adapt to different and changing situations, environment. You have different people too. I've had different kinds of supervisors, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not a very easy one, but I just believe that has also helped me. Some we have quickly made peace and closed or identified what the gaps were and what the issues were, and we were back to being friends. But even when you're not favoring me, or when things are not going my way, I still believe that I need to be able to adapt to my environment, make necessary adjustments to make sure that the work still gets done. Now resilience shows strength. You never give up. Have set objectives. You never give up, irrespective of what happens or who does what. Then a relevant person always adds value. So to test that do you understand, that you're relevant, be sure that you are adding value at every stage in your life, that value. You always put value forward. Now, I have this video, like I said, where you might see it. I always like to take something that everyone can relate with. And everything we've been talking about today has to do with choice. So you decide who you want to be, you decide how far you want to go, you decide if you want to be relevant. So I'm hoping that this video would also help us make the decisions we need to make and work towards being relevant and staying relevant, not just becoming relevant, but being consistent. So I hope we can all
We can't hear. So maybe you want to reshare your screen and include the audio.
Sorry, can we hear?
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Oh my God, 1 second. Let me. 1 second. Let me see what I need to do.
Do you want to? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming. Let me just let me see what I need to do to get it. Let me know if it plays now. Can anyone hear?
Yes,
Not
I
yet.
can. Okay, no, we can't hear the sound from the video.
If it's a link, can you share it and then maybe someone else can try?
Yeah, or maybe you could double check that you included the audio. Okay, we can hear now.
Hi, I'm Larissa. Hi, your name? Grandma, nice to meet you. Give me a hug.
Were you hearing it when I was playing now?
Yes, we were.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard
to
for
be
a
sure.
bit, then it stopped.
I don't. Okay, no, I stopped it because I wasn't sure you guys could hear,
Oh, yeah,
but
we were
I'll just
hearing.
take it back now. Okay.
Hi, I'm Larissa. Hi, your name? Grandma, nice to meet you. Give me a hug. Welcome to the hotel. My name is Larissa Jefferson. I'm a banquet server / captain. I work at the Doubletree in Walt Disney World Resort. Oh, look at that. Welcome back. Oh, you look so handsome today. What you just dressed up for me? Yes. Oh. Tell the sales department you bring them in, because I'm going to keep them happy, because to know me is to love me.
We promise our customer with 100% confidence that they are going to receive a level of service like they've never received in their meetings. We just know that.
Hello, and who are you, sir? Paul, nice to meet you. I'm Larissa. Give me a hug. The first thing I tell them, I'm working for you now. I'm here to take care of you. If you need me, I'm here. Oh, you look so beautiful, Elaine.
She stands in the doorway greeting everybody. And right there, she's getting their names. She's getting to know the people and how close or far that she can come to these people. She'll find out whose birthday is going on that week. And there she goes, walking in at the end of their event with the birthday cake.
They're my family, and I want them to feel at home, and I want them to come back. And not because it's a business, it's because I want them to come back to the hotel and to see me. Give me a hug. I like the way you got your hair done. It looks so beautiful. You're welcome.
These customers love Laurie, you know, and that's what it's all about. And that's why they keep coming back.
They already remember her. But she puts together a kit that she's created, she puts together on her own time, and the guests are absolutely blown away when they receive this anti-depression kit.
I love it. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for coming to see me, darling. Everybody gets some. It does not matter how you look. And each one of them get kits. So I said, in a week, at least 200, 250.
There was a penny to make sure I never go broke.
Rubber band stretch beyond your limits.
And the eraser to make mistakes disappear. And let's face it, we all make mistakes.
String to tie everything back together if it falls apart.
There was a marble in it, just in case I lose my marbles.
And Hershey's hug and a kiss that you're not supposed to eat because they're supposed to be there so you know someone loves you.
I got to tell you, in this economy, everybody appreciates this kit.
It was from the heart. It was very heartfelt, and you could see her spirit in it, and that she actually really cares.
We are going home with hope. So it's really great. She's a wonderful person.
It just made me smile and made me want to take it home and show it off when I got back.
Oh, I love you, my darling. Give me some skin. Thank you so much, darling. Thank you for coming to see me.
We're always looking for ways to be unexpected, but when she does it on her own, that just sets the example. Everybody supports what she's doing, which is infectious throughout the property, so everybody's looking for ways to do their own thing now.
It's so much easier booking a repeat customer than it is going out and finding a new one. They already know the service standards of the hotel. They already know that Laurie is going to be there to take care of them. All we have to do is say she's going to work your event, and they sign the contract.
My biggest challenge is to keep them happy and they're coming back, and I make them feel like they're at home because they are.
We're a little bit more casual, but still provide this higher level of service. One of the examples is just on how we greet our clients coming in to look at our meeting space. And we always roll out a red carpet for them.
Then they walk down that red carpet on the site inspection, and there's Laurie, and she'll grab hold of them, give them a hug, and I might as well just give them the contract right there because they'll sign it even before seeing the hotel.
You cannot imagine how many business that we have that returns. And it's because I really put my effort and my heart into them. I don't care what they want. They can want the moon, and I will make it happen if I can do it.
So how do we all feel about that? How do we all feel? I actually want people to talk. I want people to talk before we round it up. There's some things that I told Jumoke 30 minutes is not enough to speak about staying relevant, but I'll do my best to summarize it. There's a lot I can say. I will still be here. I mean, it will take us days. How many of you would your management, use to get contracts signed? That's how you know you are relevant. How many of you would your names come up when discussions are being held and they require a solution, and do you understand? You are that person that is able to help the institution or the organization address, a challenge that has been nudging, nagging at them for so long. Then you know you're relevant. I have experiences, personal experiences. That's why I said certification is not everything as you grow. It's a starting point, but there are skills and even soft skills. I've been pulled out of my function to work with someone that is very intelligent, but his soft skills were working against him. But the management was still interested in him, in helping him. And I didn't know why I was pulled. Usually when I'm redeployed, my supervisor would at least have a word with me to let me know, oh, this is happening. But that particular move ahead came from the MD's office. I was uncomfortable and started asking questions. In fact, I went to HR and the guy there said, Kika, sit down. You know, I was smiling. I said, my boss, tell me, what is it? Hello. Hello. Someone is saying hello. You know, my boss, and I said, Madam, sit down. Let me tell you. This is highly confidential. Okay, this person had a problem, but his function is very important to the MD. And the MD said, there's something we used to say, some kind of, you know, phrase we use, cage the monkey. Now you can have a problematic situation and you don't want it to embarrass you or your lines for cage that monkey. Do not let it out. And so that the MD said, find me somebody that is going to work with this individual that would, you know, manage his excesses. And he said 3 or 4 names came up. And he said within HR, my name returned, you understand, undisputed, as in there was no, oh, this or that. It was, oh, this person. It means I haven't worked with all of them directly, but they have interacted with me one way or the other. And they believe that I had that quality or I had that skill to be able to manage what the MD was looking for. And you know, it was until I started working closely with the guy, because we were on a team together, but he was moved out and then his function was not really the way it was before. Then I began to see, you know, some of those weaknesses, but I believe that my approach also helped him, because he could be brash, but I'll not say, no, don't let's do it like this. And I'll just put a call and I'll say, no, they said we can come now. Later he said, the way we are getting things done, what's going on? He started to slow down on his brashness. And when I was leaving the bank, I mean, he wrote me an ode, or how did he say it? I was shocked. He said, no, that I've affected him in a way that he never thought he would be affected. And he told everyone, he said, you just need to call Kika's name and things will just happen. I said, her name was just opening doors. When you be struggling with this, people give me this, give me that. I just like, I said, no, don't let us approach. Let's just, you know, change the way you're fighting. You're going with fights. Nobody's going to embrace you. Everyone is going to just raise their walls, and that was what was happening for a long time. And you know, that was what my colleague told me. And I was like, oh, wow. But I'm happy that what they brought me to do, I mean, you understand, I achieved it. I achieved it before leaving. And we're still great friends till tomorrow. I mean, do you understand? We call ourselves, we still talk. So it's important. Sometimes it's just about the personal touch. We could see from the video, from Laurie's case, she was not the only person, but she made certain decisions on how she wanted to serve people. She chose to be different. Those were sacrifices she made. So the word sacrifice comes in. So do not think when you see people at the top or they're progressing, don't become envious. Don't be too quick to be envious. You don't know their story. You do not know the sacrifices that they have made. So it's important that, you know, I think I should let people speak. I'll be talking. Though I'm reading. She's no doubt an asset to the brand. Yes, she's super relevant. Indeed, she is. So I think I can close and then allow for questions. So on a closing note, the way to get started on this journey of being relevant and staying the same is to quit talking, stop complaining, and begin the doing. Just do. Just go out there, make the decisions you need to make, and start acting. I'd like to say It's been, I hope I didn't take more than 30 minutes. It's been a great privilege. Thank you, Jumoke. Thank you to Textilers for having me, giving me the opportunity to share part of my story, and I hope it inspires you all. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Kika. Thank you. You know, I just wanted to even add that most times there's an unconscious bias that sits in us at the workplace where you feel, but you know, I can imagine how, oh, she could have said, I'm not head of sales, I'm not the GM. What's my own with bringing in the numbers? My own is just to stay here. When they have booked events, I'll make sure that they're okay. But no. So sometimes we need to kill those biased thoughts in our minds that tell us all those things that unconsciously make us less of ourselves, you know, at the workplace or in whatever we are doing. I like to call it focus on your focus, like focus. If you're there, we're all driving to a common goal. So the common goal could, that little thing you're doing, you know, could help, you know, make that organization achieve its goal. Like they say, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if you keep making yourself the weakest link with your thoughts and your mindset, you're taking the organization down. But if you keep pushing the bar, keep telling yourself that if I was the head of sales, this is what I would do. If I was the GM, this is what I would do. You are helping the organization strive to that top point. So yeah, I think that those were like key points for me from that video, reminding ourselves that it doesn't matter where you fall in the organogram, you are as important as whoever you see at the top, and whatever you bring to the table adds to that goal. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you. I like what you said now. I said, yes, you can lead from behind. You can be that strength for your supervisor, and you would always be relevant because he would always know, I have this person, this, you know, dependable officer that, and when there's the time for rewards come, your name would always be on the table.
Yeah.
And people, you know, so that's just the way it works. It works.
I think I can completely also relate to what you're saying right now. Like, just own it like it's yours. Own it like it's yours, and it'll always come back. That's just the thing about life. When you take someone else's thing and own it like it's yours, you know, it always come back positively for you. And I've also, like, over my years of working, I've learned that loyalty always pays off. You know, be that person that your head of department, your boss knows, yes, you have my back. You know, you're always there. You're always looking out. You would go the extra mile to make sure things work. Like, you're the one accountable for it. Well, whereas you're not, you're just helping me. So help and support people. And that's what I always say to younger ones that are starting out. You know, one day you will be that boss. One day you'll be the one who wants that help and that support. So treat others the way you want to be treated. Give that help and give that support. Lead from behind the way you would like to have people supporting you when you get to that point. You know, so yeah, so it was a beautiful session, and there are a lot of things to be learned. You know, you've challenged us again. Stay out, go out of your comfort zone, stretch yourself, gain additional knowledge. You know, because as techies, sometimes we're always learning, but you're sometimes comfortable in a particular space because you've been doing it for a lot of years. So all you just do is you just stay relevant in that space. You know, but what you're saying today is, you know, your story was so inspiring. Like, you went from one place to another. I've also worked in the bank before, so I know that moving from one place to another is not it's not easy like that. So just take it from one department to another department, and you know, you have to swim. So it means that we shouldn't be too comfortable in our, you know, our little comfort zone. You know, we need to start to stretch out to other areas and to be able to say, okay, you know what, if I move from this position to another position tomorrow, will I sink? You know, so, and that confidence also is really good, because a lot of us are uncomfortable when we're out of our comfort zones. You know, especially techies, we like to be where we're very knowledgeable. So once you step out of your core technology area into another place, you just switch off, because you're like, I don't know what people are talking about. You know, this is not my area. So rather than having an open mind to actually even listen, you know, take notes of all the stuff. Like, I was in the call last week and they were talking about something that wasn't actually anything related to the Power Platform or anything I know. But because I'd been challenging myself over the last few days, so rather than switching off in the conversation, I just go into listen mode like we do when we're in a meeting and it doesn't concern us, we just switch off and just say if we should just finish and get to a conclusion on the matter. I started taking notes of the words I didn't know, the things I was hearing and I'd never heard of it before. And I'm just going to Google to say, what does this thing mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And it's okay. I just read the first line and that's it. I know what it means. So the next time I hear that word, I just know, okay, I've heard it before and I can relate to it. And I think that it just speaks to the fact of being knowledgeable. So it's not necessarily as if, oh, I want to go and acquire a whole skill set in that area, but it's always good to know a bit about everything. And you see, this knowledge comes from the awareness, being aware that, okay, I want to grow and I want to learn. So rather than switching off, we just keep taking the pieces here and there, and then we become a whole body of knowledge. So just as I really learned a lot from your sessions, and I was taking notes too. So
glad.
Thank you so much.
I think we had Abdullah's hand up and then he went away. Abdullah, do you still want to speak?
Hello?
Your hands were up.
Hello?
We can hear you, please.
Oh, okay. Good evening. I actually I just want to talk about the staff in that hotel. She actually make herself stand out, and she show love to the customers, and she has passion for her job. She loved what she was doing, how she was serving the customers. And by so, the customers also love her, so they like to see her face. She equally like to be seeing their faces, so they keep dropping in and coming back again because she's there. So it's not only the customers that identify what she was doing, but also the management actually identify her. So she make herself relevant, and she really loved what she was doing. So it is something that people should learn from. So like what the group head, the speaker has said, is wherever we are, we should make sure we have something we are doing that stand us apart from others. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you. Thank you. We'll take one more. We have Rachel. Yes, Rachel, please.
Okay, please, I have a question. I want to ask, you talked about relevancy, and I want to ask, especially if you start working in a new place, because you feel that maybe you're trying to do too much, or maybe you're trying to show off too much, stuff like that. So how do you handle that? Like you are trying to, sorry, for example, you just joined and you are trying to correct what they already had before that, okay, this thing you are doing, there's actually a shorter method to be able to fix this. And they are feeling that, okay, you are trying to show yourself, you are trying to show off. So how do you work on that?
My darling, don't be distracted. I would just tell you not to be distracted, because I had that situation too. The truth is they would come round. I always say put value on the table, but also soft skills are very important. So when we talk about skills, it's soft skills, how you approach. I told you I was sent to FX Treasury, and I was the youngest. I was so scared. I didn't want to make mistakes. I had someone that was like 3 steps my senior, 3 grades, let me put it like that. And he was very untidy. I couldn't tell him he was very untidy. The registers were torn. Our manager, our unit head, they were all guys. So one day I was asked to understudy him. So I would just say, I said, okay, let me show the registers. He said, okay. I looked at the register I was going to fill. You know, when notes is all rolled up, you know, this was early 2099. So I first straightened out. I didn't complain. I straightened out the registers and I started to record. Anytime he wanted, I said, no, I'll do it, because I didn't want this. I need to come back to me. And I could not. Then we were looking for some documents one day, and I saw his frustration. I was looking at him. was looking at what he was doing. I was looking at the drawer. It was peppering me. Then I asked him, I said, can I help? And he said, what will I do? I said, you should not worry that. Can you just leave the space, leave his desk that I want to do something. Thank God. I brought out everything. I started arranging from the beginning. When he came, he said, my desk has never been this tidy. I didn't have to say, do you understand? I didn't say that to him. I didn't say, oh, yeah, so this son, so you need to be, approach. You need to be very careful. You're saying this is how to do it. I don't know how your engagement is, but try and sell value, but do it gradually. People are not human beings don't usually like change. Even where I am today, when you're saying, this is what we used to do, say if you are doing something in a particular way, would you have a different outcome? You want improvement. The way you've been doing it before has never helped you. But you just let's try this. Just try this. Try this template. Try this. So it's working for you. It makes your own job faster. You can find. You start with, like the Bible. You win one soul. You keep winning souls. That's how it is. Change is not very easy, but find someone you can first sell the value with. The person, it will just keep moving. It's like a train. And then someone said something, check your motive. I love that. As I said, 30 minutes, I couldn't do justice to 30 minutes. One very important thing is your motive. What's your objective? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to bring everybody alongside, or you're trying to show off, or, you're trying to, there are different ways people perceive things, but they need to be able to see you're genuine. I have been in a situation where some people knew me that Kika has nothing, but there were people that didn't know me and felt, what's she feeling like? But have become disciples today. So it wasn't overnight. So if you're genuine, you wouldn't give up. You wouldn't drop it just because some people are, you just keep selling value and be nice about how you're also delivering the value. Do not make anybody feel inadequate. Very important. A senior colleague one day saw me. She said, Kika, you're a lovely person. She was hugging me. I don't work with her. We were just talking about something and I just probably chipped in a thing or two. That's my own personal touch. That's Kika. I've had colleagues, people join the institution, and once you're with me, the way I onboard you is almost like carrying a child, just dropping everything in your lap. There are others that make you sweat. They won't assist you. I have worked somewhere when they moved me to the center, that's to the head office function. And I took on one guy and I said, oh, do you know this? Do you know that? He said, I've been here 6 months, so nobody has told me anything. Motive. And I said, do you understand? How does the work flow? For me, I want a customer to call or to walk in, engage you, and it's the same standard they find. So it's not about Kika alone. I've met people like me as well. It's always fun. We just connect quickly. I've met people like me. For those that are not like me, I have to kind of, take them on the journey, kind of handhold them. So you're going to find that, but be very careful how you're delivering the goods, how you're selling and say, oh, let's try this way. You need to keep selling value. You need to sell it. You need their buy-in. Do you understand? So you are trying to bring value to the environment, but you need to sell it. That colleague of mine never felt disrespected in any way. Neither did I make him feel inadequate. But when I say, the registers are mine, you say, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. He knows his weakness. He said, my corner has never been this tidy. I said, no, I'll sort out the registers. So I was helping him. I wasn't disrespectful about it. I could see where his own, there was another guy that was more organized, but he in particular stood out. He was intelligent, but oh God, whatever happened? We're all coming from different backgrounds. So you may be blessed, you may have that privilege of, being in a space where you are taught certain things before you go into public space. Some of us are not. I learned something from one of my supervisors then. He said, when you're speaking to somebody, always check the terms of reference. Check the background. By the time you're engaging, the way they relate, the way they reason, check where they are coming from. So that has also helped me. So I'm engaging you and someone will say, how, that person? I said, what happened? I was able to get across, and that person that everybody's avoiding, we're flowing. We're flowing. So it's important, Rachel, don't get discouraged. Keep at it. Check your motive like someone has suggested, and self-value. Don't rush them. Don't impose it on them. Be patient. That's another virtue. It's not easy. For one, I like those are some of the things I grew out of. I'm very finicky. I'm almost like a perfectionist. I like people that pick quickly, but somebody's nodding. But I've also learned on the job that I've been able to stretch myself for some people. Yeah, there's no perfect person. So I've been able to stretch. In fact, somebody said recently that, Ma, you are really taking it easy here. Yeah, the way you used to drive us, you're like, I said, it's a different environment, different kind of people, different reasoning, so some are getting it quickly, but some are not. And it's my reality. And I won't burn the ship just because some are slow. I'm gonna have slow people. But if you're willing, I always say one thing, once you're good ground, we can sow and we can water. So if you're unwilling, there's nothing I can do. There's no magic. And we're just going to keep paddling the canoe till either you drop off or something happens. That's also my reality. I've paddled canoe with like people for 7 years, and some have grown and become adults. You don't want to grow, there's no magic I can do. So, sweetheart, just pace yourself. Don't get discouraged. Keep at it, but continue to self-value. I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah. It also helps some of us too. Some of us are also very.
I wanted to add that, Rachel, I don't think you even have my kind of voice, so I'm sure you will get away with being calm. If you're my kind of person, naturally when I talk, I'm looking for trouble. So I have learned how to take a deep breath and think what I want to say, reconstruct it like 35 billion times in my head, and sometimes when it comes out, it's still seen as I'm looking for trouble. So if you don't, I can bet if this is your voice, this is your real voice, Rachel, trust me. Once you check your motive, they will listen to you. Just use this voice and sell the right motive. They'll listen to you. But I feel like it starts from the motive. If it's not about trying to be superhero,
don't lose it.
Yes, as long as you didn't come there to want to show them, oh, I'm the new kid on the block and I have all the answers. Even if truly you have all the answers, it's not wrong. But if that's not the motive to show them, you guys are old school here, I know what it is here, then it will come out naturally. You will find a way to sell that change you want to them. And give people time, because the truth is, it's natural. Technology, there are people who live in their world thinking that they know it all. So when they see you bring something new for them, they are struggling to get it. So you just sit down and learn. And if Joy, can learn it, I think any other person can do it. People that know me, so I've learned how to swallow, think it, rethink it, and then just give it time to take. And with that, your nice, fancy voice, I'm sure you can get it. Don't worry. I've finished talking in the meeting, and Kika sent me a nice message that you want to kill everybody in the meeting. she understood what I was saying, but she could sense people there in that meeting not getting it. So genuinely, she was one person. I've been in that space, you know. She knew what I was trying to do. She knew I was trying to pass a message, but she just felt like I wasn't using the right tone and I wasn't using the right, approach to communicate it, you know. So I've been in that seat, and this is me being me. So because she knows that naturally this is how Joy talks, this is how she knew that I wasn't in any way trying to make anybody feel less of themselves, and then she gave me that feedback. So sometimes, check the motive so that you can be able to pass that message.
Thanks, Joy. Rachel, you have had many. I think you have more than enough to run and not be discouraged.
Okay, so Bumi, do we have any other thing, or we have to pass it? We pass it back to Foyin, who will give us our closing remarks. Any other questions? Okay, yes. Okay, yeah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the intermediate classes are kicked off. They started last week, and the morning classes started today. I think it was only those for the evening session that gave up their class for us to be able to have this session. So please click on the link, join any of your preferred sessions. They continue every Saturday, and I think it will run for the next 8 weeks, but I think we've done 2 weeks now out of the 8 weeks. And let's keep learning, let's keep pushing ourselves, and let's keep encouraging everyone. At this note, we'll pass the mic to our community leader, Foyin, who would end the day for us. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
thank you, Joy.
All has been said. So much has been said. Nothing more to say than to just thank everyone for joining us. Thank you to our special guest for today, Molly. Molly had to drop off a couple of minutes ago, but she was truly happy to be here with us. And she enjoyed the sessions also. Thank you, Kika, for I'll say the wealth of knowledge and experience, that you have shared with us today. I've learned so much, I've learned a lot from this session. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for engaging, asking questions, for listening, taking notes, for basically spending your time with us. But truly grateful for this. And with that, we would say have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, and we'll see you same time, which is last Saturday of the month in August, and we'll also have 2 special guests again here and ready to share their experience with us. Okay, so
when do you want us to take a picture?
Okay, please, you want to come on camera? See your lovely face.